Hi, RocSports. I'm back with another video. As you can tell by the title, this is my post reaction to both Devin Haney and Tank fight from this past weekend, and also just the current state of the lightweight division. First thing first, Devin Haney. No, first thing first, Jojo Diaz. I thought Jojo Diaz put on a hell of a fight. I thought he looked good. For real. His high guard, his defense, I thought his defense was really good. Jojo Diaz. His only thing that I would say, okay, well, let me start by giving Jojo his credit. I thought his defense was very good, and you can see his ring generalship, you can see his amateur pedigree, you can see all of that. His Olympian, you know what I'm saying? You could just see all of his experience. But Devin Haney is just different. It's that simple. Jojo he had some success when he was active, but for whatever reason, he wasn't active enough. Was it because of stamina, or was it because of Devin Haney's power? Now, I'm not sitting up here saying Devin Haney has so much power, none of that. But again, if he has no power, why are you walking him down while not being aggressive? What's the point? You're not throwing any punches at all. You know what I mean? But again, though, Jojo Diaz he put on a hell of a fight, and I love how humble in defeat he was. So salute to Jojo. I want to see more. But Devin Haney, though, everything, punch placement, defense. Even though in times Devin can get sloppy, which he got to clean that up when he fight bigger punchers, obviously, including Tank, T.O., Ryan, even for that matter. Even when the Devin fighting guys like Rolly, I would be first to say I would definitely pick Devin back knockout, just because I think that would be target practice. But at the same time, when Devin is aggressive, he opens himself up so much, and he's susceptible to big shots. And Rolly has power, so that's interesting. And I still have Devin, like, the best is yet to come with Devin still. So y'all better catch him while y'all can now. That's all I'm gonna say, because he's already a problem, but I think he's gonna have more power once he move up to 140. But that's a different topic for another day. Let's move on to Tank real quick. We're gonna double back to Devin Haney, but let's move on to Tank real quick. Okay, so like I said, on to the Tank fight. Isaac Cruz, same thing. Hell of much respect, hell of a performance that he put on. I think that's the best that we could have seen of Isaac Cruz last night in terms of short notice, like his stamina, everything that he did last night. I felt like was the best version of himself, and he gained for sure. He gained a lot of fans last night. The pressure that he put on Tank was great. His will, his heart, his chin. And the dude, he's solid, man. He's a pit bull for real. So that's a great name for him. I want to see more of Pitbull Cruz for sure. But at the same time, styles make fights. I don't see Pitbull beating a guy like Devin Haney. Excuse me, I don't see him. I think that he's a I wouldn't even say that next level, but he's like the middle of the second level guy for me. But he's still a hell of a fighter, you know what I mean? So yeah, but on the Tank, I thought Tank showed just another asset to his arsenal. Show what more he has to his arsenal. Which is more, Tank can fight coming forward and on his back foot, just like Devin Haney. Tank looked good to me. I understand that fans want to see knockdowns and knockouts every fight, but the man is 26-0 with 24 knockouts. And y'all want to sit up here. You see he hurt his hand. You see Tank like the last 3 rounds not throwing the left hand really at all. And people sitting up here booing. I just don't get it. Why were the fans booing? Really? Like, that was a great fight from both fighters. Why were they booing? He lost the fight. Just because we used to seeing someone dominate And this goes for Devin Haney, the Devin Haney fight too, because I seen a couple of casuals that thought Jojo Diaz won the fight. Just because we thought, just because we may see fighters that are dominant, the other fighter that they're fighting at that time has a couple of moments and spurts, that doesn't mean that they're losing the fight, or they're even losing the round for that matter. It was a lot of times when Devin Haney was boxing circles and beating the hell out of Jojo Diaz, and he would fight well for 30 seconds, and people talking about he stole a round or he won the round. No, he didn't, because he fought and he literally wouldn't throw punches for 30 seconds at a time. And while Devin Haney's just everywhere, to the body, up top, Devin Haney threw every punch that is to throw. Meanwhile, Jojo Diaz is still just, never mind. But I'm getting off topic. I thought Tank looked very good. Clearly he was hurt, but I want to see Tank get right back in the ring. After this fight is no reason. We don't need to see Rolly. We do not need to see Rolly. If Tank is not fighting, I didn't buy this fight, because this wasn't a pay-per-view worthy fight, even with Rolly. So, and I think that us as boxing fans, we have to stand up now, because this is talent that's just being wasted in a sense from Tank's standpoint. Tank is 27, man, and he had what's his signature performance? Leo Santa Cruz, that's 126-pounder moving up. No, if Tank needs to fight Devin Haney, Kambosos, Loma, Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis. If it's not one of those guys, what we doing? Or RyanGarcia even. What we doing? And the same goes for the rest of them. It's time, man. It's no other reasons why they shouldn't be fighting. Forget the belts. Forget they all bring something to the table in their own. You know what I mean? Like, fighters sit up here and try to say they still dogging Devin Haney with the selling tickets or the fake the email champion stuff. Fight him. Just fight him. I don't know what a guy like T.O. does next, so that's why I haven't said his name much, because again, this video is also the state of the lightweight division. So we wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if T.O. moves up to 140, because everybody know that he struggled to make weight and whatever the case. But if he do stay at 135, I don't know who we should fight. T.O. Obviously, it makes no sense for him to fight Tank right now, obviously. They already said they weren't interested in the Kambosos rematch for the most part. He didn't want the Devin Haney fight when it was for Undisputed, so I doubt Devin Haney give him the shot. So it's going to be interesting to see what Teofimo does next. If I had to take my guess on it, I would say he move up to 140. And I'm nervous for him. From what I seen in the Kambosos fight, I'm kind of nervous for him. And for him being at 140 in terms of the top competition. So I think Teofimo needs to go back to the drawing board for a little bit. Tank, I already said the same thing goes for Devin Haney. Devin Haney's great. I just think he has to work on his power, still improve. But like Jojo Diaz said, I think that he's another one struggling to make 135, and that could take away from some of his power. And Kambosos. Now it's time to talk about Kambosos. First thing first, before we get to Kambosos, Loma is the wild card in all of this. Because of these performances, I still give Loma a shot to beat every single one of these guys. But I also think that they could beat Loma too. So again, I'm saying that to say, don't count Loma out. Loma is still right here in the middle of, you know what I mean? He didn't get blown through the water. He clearly had success later in the fight with Teofimo. But Loma is still a top dog. Don't get it confused. So, yeah. And let's get back to Kambosos now. I was a fan of Kambosos, and I still am slightly. But what he was saying before this weekend, and pretty much as of yesterday, that energy changed already. I understand that you beat Teofimo, who was the top dog because of belts at the time. But at the same time, you also gave credit to Devin Haney. You know what I mean? From the standpoint of he's a great fighter. He is the WBC champion. When you beat Teofimo, you would meet up with him for the real undisputed match. Remember all of that, right? Why did energy change? Why did the energy shift after Devin Haney's fight? So, again, Kambosos, his energy just shifted. I don't understand. Pre-fight, it was, Devin, get through this and we can make this happen. It's the easiest fight to make. He was agreeing with Devin. Devin say, let's go. You know what I mean? Basically echoing the same thing. He told Devin, he was like, we may have to do it in Australia. Devin said, it doesn't matter where it's at. We could do it in Jupiter. Kambosos say, all right, cool. So just, handle your business Saturday. Now it's other guys that's possible to have shots as well, too. Tank. He threw out Tank name first because obviously, you can argue Tank just because of it's a bigger fight in terms of money and ticket sales, whatever the case. RyanGarcia missed me with that. And there's nobody else. Who else you going to fight? Loma's not a bigger fight. Who else are you going to fight? If it's not Tank, fight Devin Haney, which it really should be Devin Haney anyway, because it's for another belt and it's for the real undisputed. So, Kambosos, I ain't like that what I heard from him. Devin Haney is consistent with everybody. He just want to fight. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think Devin Haney, obviously, to me, I think he had the best performance in terms of Kambosos. Teofimo, obviously Teofimo didn't. Tank, I think Devin Haney had the best performance. Does that mean he's the best? No. But I just think he had the best performance. So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake up the rest of next year. So yeah, that's it. RocSports, I'm checking out.